What's going on, guys? Future Artist is back, and I'm here with another tutorial. A few suggestions that I've gotten recently were to do a screen pump slash pan crop tutorial, and I know it's really simple, so I've got you guys a quick little tutorial here. It's going to be way faster than my usual tutorials, so before we get ahead to it, I'm going to show you real quick what we're going to do, a quick example. Alright, so I quickly edited that little clip and added some screen pumps. So what I'm going to do is quickly delete the screen pumps layer I already have so we can start fresh. Alright, so first, just like how we want to sync our clips, we have to have our markers all set up to every beat. And if you don't know how to do that, you just open up the song's waveform and find the beats by looking for the biggest like wave. Right, you can see like the sudden jump right here, that's a beat, that's another beat right there. But I always make sure to listen to the song while I look for beats, because sometimes there might not be a beat even though the waveform might look bigger or something, and that could just be from some random noises or the vocals or something. But yeah, setting the markers is just Control 8 on Mac, it's Control Star, and on Windows it's I think just Star. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get to it right away. What we're gonna first do is create a new layer, and this is gonna be where our screen pump settings are gonna happen on. So what you're gonna do next is apply transform onto that layer. Make sure this is over all your clips. Now what we're gonna do is find the first beat, the first shot, and what you're gonna do is go one keyframe right behind it, or two. I usually just go one. So what we're gonna do is go over to scale and hit the little clock to start your first keyframe. We're gonna have the first one at 0 and then go one frame ahead, which is the beat right here where he shoots, and put it up to like 104. I usually put my shots at 104 or 105. Now, on this song, immediately after the beat, there's another beat that comes up. So what I usually like to do is, instead of doing the same thing where it's like 100 and 103 or 104, I'm gonna have it set to 103 for the first keyframe right before the beat, and then on the beat itself I'm gonna have like 100. And now what this does is it's gonna have this pump slowly coming down and then immediately going back to 0 on the beat itself. So I'm gonna show you real quick how that looks. As you guys can see, the screen pumps up on the first beat, which is a shot, and immediately goes back down on the beat that's right after it. And sometimes, if it isn't a shot, like for example this one, we get another one of these beats, I like to do pumps that swing to the right and to the left. I would do that as like my usual pumps, where I just keyframe the first frame right behind it at 100, the beat itself at like 103, 102. I'm just gonna put 103 at this beat, and I'll do the same thing to the beat right after where it's at 103. But this time, to make it swing left or to the right, we're gonna use the rotation settings right here. We're gonna alter them. So what we're gonna have, the first one is gonna be at 0, which was at where we had the screen pumps at 100, and then the frame right after it, which is the beat itself, we're gonna have it set to 2 or 3. I usually like to put it to 2. Now, so what I'm gonna do is do the same thing, but on the next one, we're not gonna have it rotating to the same direction, so we're gonna have it at -2. But before I do that, like usual, I always like to reset it back to default at 0, and then on the beat itself, it's gonna be -2. This beat right here is gonna have the screen pump to the right, and this one's gonna have a pump to the left. And then I'm gonna find the next beat, which is right here, and I'm gonna put everything back to 0. The rotation at 0, and this pump at 100, the scaling at 100. Now, let me show you guys really quick how that looks. Alright, as you guys can see, on the first beat, it's going to pump to the right, and then the second one is going to pump to the left. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and put some more screen pumps on the rest of these, and then when I get to a beat that's slightly different, I'm going to show you guys what I do on that. Alright, so I've encountered 4 consecutive beats, but these beats are kind of different. The first 2, they are more quiet and not as powerful. I'm going to show you real quick how it sounds. Alright, so as you guys can see, the first two weren't as powerful of beats as the rest. They weren't really beats it all. It was just some weird ambient noise. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to have the same scale settings. I'm going to have it like start with 100, of course, like usual on every most of my green pumps, but I'm going to have it less at like 101 and then the second beat at like 102. Whenever a beat seems like it's getting a little louder but it starts off pretty slow, I just make it so that on the first beat the screen pump starts with a low amount like 101 or something, and on the second one it goes ahead to 102. So I'm going to show you guys how that looks. You can barely tell, but if you look at it pretty closely, you might be able to tell. Now on the next beats, I'm just going to go ahead and put the screen pumps where they pump to the sides, and I'll just go ahead and do the rest of this song as well. Alright guys, so that's basically it for my screen pump. I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys what we made here, and that's about it for this tutorial. Hope you guys learned something new, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, because I'll be uploading many more tutorials, edits, editing packs, etc. But yeah, see ya.